Well, good morning, guys. So, apparently I did the entire reading and 20-minute explanation, and the video was not running. So, I don't feel led to redo the reading. Sometimes when that happens, I scrap the reading and do a different one. But for some reason today, I don't feel like that's the way that Spirit wants me to handle this particular situation. So, I think it's funny after I explain the message to you why the video actually didn't work. So for today's message, we got the Six of Cups, followed by, in the reverse, I'm sorry, that's in the reverse, followed by the Page of Wands in reverse, the Lover's card in the upright, the Ten of Wands in the reverse, the Magician in the reverse, and the Star card in the upright. The Six of Cups in the reverse speaks of family, nostalgia normally, but in this case it's probably looking back on a situation that you were very emotionally attached to, and looking back on it with either too much positivity or too much negativity. Either way, your emotions are driving the way that you're looking at the past, and I think Spirit is asking us to use our logic and really discern the balance of the situation that was in the past. We have the Page of Wands in the reverse, which is it's a childlike energy. It's a very immature energy. It is being bored and really probably lonely in this particular reading. Wands is typically a fire energy, right? And Cups is emotion or water energy. And our Page of Wands, I think, got so bored that they're looking back on the past because they can't really look to the future. Maybe there's too many opportunities, or there's too much indecision, or there's just too much chaos and too much worry to be looking forward. So she's looking back in this particular case, and she's looking back on it with too much emotion. So when we can put that into perspective, and we can slow ourselves down, and we can look back on the situation in the past and look at it from a logical and emotional perspective, very balanced perspective, we can start to see lessons. And that's when we start to see the big puzzle, right? Because every day and every situation is just a piece of our puzzle of our path. And when we can stop and sit back and really look at things for what they are and not what we wanted them to be, then we start to have the clarity enough to see the big picture, and then the puzzle pieces start to fit in nicely. We can marry the colors up, etc. Our Lover's card in traditional tarot deck speaks of romance or marriage. In the Mermaid Tarot deck, I see it more as a love of self, as a getting back to seeing yourself the way you want to be, not necessarily the way you are. And it doesn't mean that where you are is a bad place, but where you were going is not where you are. And whatever dreams you were trying to manifest that haven't manifested yet, you are the only thing stopping you. You know, she's the only difference here to making her dreams a reality. She can literally step through the looking glass, if you will, and make her dreams come true. She may be a mermaid in real life, but she wants to be a human on land with a castle behind her in her fantasy life. And I think what Spirit is saying here is turn your fantasy into reality, because you are the what you see and what you create and what you project is going to be reflected back to you. So just act as if, right? I had heard that a long time ago. Act as if you had the job that you wanted. Act as if you had the marriage that you wanted. Act as if you have the relationship that you wanted. If you're single and you're living in a one-bedroom apartment, make room in the closet for your spouse, your future spouse, right? Act as if you are going to share a one-bedroom apartment with your husband or wife, then you would only have half of the space, right? So maybe only take up half the space and leave room for your partner to come in. That card is followed by the Ten of Wands. I think when we start to refocus back on our original ideas and plans and love of self, that's when our burdens can fall off of our shoulders, right? The Ten of Wands speaks of the end of a journey, a long journey, a lot of lessons learned, a lot of burdens carried. And when we can see the past for what it truly was and not what we think it was or what we perceived it to be, then we can lay those burdens down. And we lay those burdens down, our energy can be a little bit scattered. You know, what we're manifesting, when we're looking back, looking forward, looking left, looking right, looking up, looking down, we're not focused on the prize, right? And I think Spirit here is telling us, focus back on the prize, focus on what it was that you originally wanted, and bring your energy back in, because right now it's very scattered. You're looking all over the place. And I think Spirit's telling us, get back to what it was you wanted in the beginning. And because that is what's manifesting. And maybe it's not manifesting. Maybe you're you're so hyper focused on everything that you can't focus on anything. And when you can't focus on it, you can't manifest it. You know, it's like you get these little start-stop things in your life, right? Maybe you wanted to start a business and it kind of failed, or maybe you wanted to start a new relationship and it failed, or maybe you wanted to start both a relationship and a business. And as we all know, both businesses and relationships take a lot of our time in the beginning. So if we don't balance that all out, if we can't focus the attention it deserves on what it is we want, then we're scattered. And that's what the Magician in the reverse is telling us here. And we can get all that under control, then we are presented with the Star, which is the miracle card. That's when things start happening, right? That's when we start to see the fruits of our labor. That's when luck comes into play. That's when you're in the right place at the right time and the opportunities just show up. And you know, when you're quiet enough and you're mindful enough and you're aware enough, you can see everything in our life happening as a miracle, and everything in our highest good. And every bad thing that happens, there's always a lesson to be learned. Or maybe you're the lesson. You know, maybe it's not your lesson. Maybe you're the instrument that God used to help someone else in their path, in their lesson. And what an honorable place that is to be, right? But either way, our advice for this spread was, don't just do something, sit there. Surf the serenity. And then from there we have, in other words, meditate, sit down and shut up. So 2 different cards today giving us the same, literally actually the same, it kind of looks like that Lover's card, right? So it's the same person or human in the same position, in the same meditation. And just really go within, really get back to what it was that you started doing when you started doing it. And, you know, let the burdens down, bring your energy in, keep yourself protected. I see we've got twice as many reversals as we do uprights, but it's a very balanced, you know, energy where it's brought in and then it comes out, brought in and comes out. And I feel like that's more of a balanced and a protective energy, more so than you keeping yourself closed off. I think you're just keeping yourself properly protected at this point. Keep your thoughts and your ideas to yourself. But what you show the world is your self-love and your miracles. You know, everybody knows that things don't always come easy. And when people look at other people that have what they want, they don't see the struggle and the work that was put in to get there. They just see the end result and they wonder why maybe they weren't good enough to have that result. And the fact of the matter is, everybody's good enough. You know, there's nobody that's not good enough. There's nobody that's not loved enough. It's just people that don't see their miracles and their blessings and don't put in the work towards their miracles and their blessings that they want. And all of that work that nobody sees, right? All they see is the self-love and the miracles. They don't see the struggles that you went through to get there. But they don't have to, right? That's not for them to see. That's for us to know. And we don't need to be egotistical about that. We don't need to be victimizing ourselves about it. We don't need to do anything about it. It just is, right? It's just a thing. There is no emotion attached to that. So that's your message today, guys. Take it easy this weekend. Go out on the river, on the boat. Maybe go to a park, but get yourself outside. Get some grounding in there. I'm an earth sign, so right away, you know, my feet in the living water is all it takes for me to get grounded. And just really go within and meditate and stop talking, I guess. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to listen to the card. I'm off for today, guys. I will see you again tomorrow.